Ever get that feeling? Like you hear a sound, you know? Like a synth line or like a pulsing bass, and instantly you're just transported.
Yeah.
That's the magic we're unpacking today.
Okay.
The MicroKORG 2.
Right.
This isn't just some new synth. It's the evolution of a sound that's shaped music for over 20 years.
Wow.
I mean, the original MicroKORG, that little synth, I feel like you could find it everywhere.
Okay.
Studios, stages, people tucking them into backpacks.
Definitely.
What gave it that legendary status?
It was just like the perfect combination of portability, user-friendliness, and that distinct sound.
Okay.
Warm,
Yeah.
punchy, instantly recognizable.
Yeah.
You've heard it in, like French house music.
Oh, wow.
It adds those ethereal textures to film scores.
Okay.
Even bands like Radiohead using it for their experimental soundscapes.
See those aha moments? The best. Knowing that sound, that legacy, it makes like diving into the MicroKORG 2 even more exciting.
Definitely.
One thing that caught my eye was the display.
Okay.
The article called it visually astounding.
Yeah.
What's the story there?
So imagine this.
Okay.
A 2.8-inch full-color screen.
All right.
That brings your sound to life.
Okay.
No more like squinting at tiny monochrome displays.
Right.
This one uses animation, so like as you tweak a knob,
Yeah.
you actually see the parameter changing on the screen.
Okay, that's cool. I need the practical application.
Okay.
How does seeing the sound actually help me make music?
Think of it as having X-ray vision
Okay.
for your music.
Okay.
The display can even transform into like an oscilloscope,
All right.
which basically visualizes your sound waves.
Okay.
So for beginners,
Yeah.
it's like having a guide, like showing you exactly what's happening to your sound
Okay.
in real time.
Got it.
For experienced producers. It's a whole new level of control.
So it's not just about pretty pictures.
Yeah.
It's about bridging that gap between what you hear and how you shape it.
Exactly.
Now, the original MicroKORG, it was famous for its vocoder.
Oh, yeah.
That robot voice effect.
Right.
Did they bring that back?
But they did more than bring it back.
Okay.
They supercharged it.
All right.
The MicroKORG 2 has this brand new vocal processor
Okay.
that goes way beyond the classic vocoder.
So what are we talking?
Like, we're talking hard tune effects,
Okay.
harmonies, even reverb and delay,
Wow.
all built in.
Hold on. Are we talking T-Pain levels of auto-tune here?
You can go full on robotic,
Okay.
or use it like subtly
Okay.
for pitch correction.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
layering your vocals with lush harmonies,
Mm-hmm.
or creating those otherworldly vocal effects
Yeah.
that are so popular in modern music.
Right.
And you can do it all right there on the synth.
It's like they took a studio's worth of vocal effects
Right.
and squeezed them into this one little synth.
Exactly.
But with all that power, did they manage to keep it user-friendly?
That's the beauty of it.
Oh,
They
no.
packed in all this like advanced technology
Mm-hmm.
while staying true to the MicroKORG's reputation for simplicity.
Okay.
You get those warm, classic analog sounds
Yeah.
without having to hunt down a fragile,
Right.
expensive vintage instrument.
Okay. Stop. I need to hear more about these sounds.
Okay.
What exactly makes them so special?
The MicroKORG 2 uses something called virtual analog technology.
Okay.
So it digitally recreates the circuitry
Okay.
of like classic analog synths,
Right.
capturing that warmth and character that that digital synths sometimes lack.
So it's like having a vintage synth collection
Yeah.
in a compact modern package.
Exactly.
I like it.
And to make it even easier to like navigate this this sonic treasure trove,
Yeah.
they've organized the sounds into categories.
All right. How so?
Like classic, modern, and future.
Okay.
So whether you're channeling those like iconic 80s synth pop vibes,
Right.
or crafting, cutting edge EDM anthems,
Mm-hmm.
you can like just jump right in.
That's incredible. But for someone like me,
Yeah.
a total newbie to synths,
Mm-hmm.
is there still room to get creative, to make my own unique sounds?
Absolutely.
Or am I stuck with the presets?
Absolutely not.
Okay, Kat.
The MicroKORG 2 is incredibly customizable.
Okay.
You can save up to 64 of your own like custom programs.
Wow.
And if you really want to get your hands dirty,
Okay.
there's a feature called virtual patching.
Virtual patching sounds complicated.
It's actually
Okay.
it's actually very intuitive.
Okay.
Imagine like rewiring the synth circuitry.
Okay.
Digitally, of course.
Right.
To create your own like unique signal flow and sound design.
So it's like digital Legos for sound design.
Exactly. They've made it like visual and easy to use.
Okay.
So you can experiment.
Yeah.
Discover sounds you like never thought possible.
Yeah, like that. What else?
And there's more.
Okay. You're killing me with the suspense. What else does this sonic marvel have up its sleeve?
Added a loop recorder.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So this synth can also be like my personal production studio on the go.
You got it.
Oh.
So with the loop recorder,
Yeah.
you can lay down a drum beat,
Okay.
add a bass line,
Mm-hmm.
then some chords,
Right.
building up an entire track,
Wow.
layer by layer,
Okay.
all within the MicroKORG too.
That's mind-blowing. It's like they took this iconic synth, turned it into like the ultimate portable music studio.
Right.
And they didn't stop there.
No.
They collaborated with a designer named Sylvain Stepani,
Oh, wow.
the mastermind behind Blink Sonic Degree. So they brought in a design guru to make sure the experience of using the MicroKORG, it's as good as it sounds.
Exactly.
Okay.
Blink Sonic is known for creating
Yeah.
visually stunning
Okay.
and intuitive interfaces.
Right.
It's not like just about making the synth look good.
Okay.
It's about making it even more fun and accessible
Right.
to use,
Yeah.
even for beginners.
I love that they're sweating the details. It's not just about cramming in features.
Right.
It's about making those features sing.
Exactly.
But we can't forget about the practicalities.
Okay.
What's the deal with the keys?
The MicroKORG G2 has 37 mini keys,
Okay.
which might sound small,
Okay.
but don't let that fool you.
The Nini keys had me a little worried, to be honest.
Okay, sure.
Are they actually playable?
Korg like really put a lot of thought
Okay.
into making them feel good.
Okay.
For instance, they adjusted the spacing
Okay.
between the black keys and the white keys,
Right.
which makes it much easier to play chords.
That makes sense. With the mini keys, things can get a little cramped, especially when you're trying to navigate complex chords.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they didn't stop there. They used something called a natural touch mini key bed.
Okay. What's that?
Basically, it means the keys are more responsive and expressive
Got it.
than your typical MIDI keys.
So you can still get those subtle nuances of touch and dynamics, even though the keys are smaller?
That's the idea. They wanted to like preserve that connection
Okay.
between the player and the instrument. And if you ever need to like access a wider range of notes,
Yeah.
there's a handy octave shift button
Okay.
right on the front panel.
No need for like awkward hand contortions to reach those high notes.
Exactly.
They really did think of everything to make this instrument playable and approachable.
And for those times when you want to like add some rhythmic complexity without like taxing your keyboard skills,
Right.
there's the built-in arpeggiator.
The arpeggiator. Tell me more about that. I'll be honest, it's one of those features that always seemed a little mysterious to me.
It's really quite simple.
Okay.
Imagine you're playing a C major chord.
Okay.
Instead of like just holding down the chord,
Right.
the arpeggiator automatically plays the individual notes
Okay.
of that chord in a rhythmic pattern.
So you get this like cool pulsing sequence of notes,
Exactly.
adding movement and groove to your sound.
Exactly. It's like having a built-in rhythm guitarist
Okay.
who's always perfectly in sync with your chords.
Okay, yeah.
And the MicroKORG 2 takes it a step further.
How so?
It has 10 different arpeggiator patterns
Wow.
to choose from.
So you can adjust the tempo, change the direction of the pattern.
Exactly.
It's that versatile.
It's incredibly
I'm
versatile.
starting to see where this could lead.
Now imagine like combining that arpeggiator
Yeah.
with the loop recorder. You could lay down a drum beat in the loop recorder,
Okay.
then use the arpeggiator to create like a driving bass line on top of that.
Okay.
Maybe add another layer with a shimmering melody.
Whoa. So you can build up these intricate textured tracks all in real time just using the MicroKORG 2.
Absolutely.
It becomes this self-contained songwriting and production powerhouse.
Exactly.
My mind is officially blown.
And we're not done yet.
Okay.
Remember those amazing vocal effects?
Yeah.
You can use those with the loop recorder too.
Wait, seriously. So I could create a loop, lay down some chords, then sing over the top, adding hard tune effects, harmonies, whatever I can dream up.
Exactly.
All on the fly.
You got it.
Wow.
The creative possibilities are pretty much limitless.
Right.
You could literally create an entire track.
Wow.
Just using your voice and the MicroKORG too.
I'm starting to understand why everyone's so excited about this synth. It's not just an instrument. It's a gateway to like a whole new world of musical creation.
It's all about breaking down those barriers between inspiration and creation.
Right.
The MicroKORG 2 gives you the tools.
Yeah.
But it's your creativity that truly brings it to life.
Well said. But with all this talk about the new model, what about like folks who already own and love the original MicroKORG? Is there enough here to entice them to upgrade?
Right.
Or should they stick with what they know?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And the answer, as with most things in life, is...
What?
It depends.
Okay.
If someone's like perfectly happy with their original MicroKORG, if it still like sparks joy and fuels their creativity, then by all means, they should keep making music with it.
Right.
But
there's always a but.
But for those who are like feeling limited by the original's capabilities, who are yearning for like new sonic possibilities, for deeper control, for the ability to incorporate vocals, and loop-based production into their workflow. Well, the MicroKORG 2 represents like a significant leap forward.
So it's not about replacing the original. It's about building on that legacy, offering this like new set of tools and possibilities for those who are ready to like explore new sonic territory.
Exactly. It's the next chapter. In a story that began over 20 years ago.
A story that, thankfully, shows no signs of ending anytime soon.
No.
Speaking of stories,
we
haven't even touched on the sheer range of effects that this little synth is packing.
Oh, yes. We have to dive into those effects.
Yes, we do.
They're a huge part of what makes the MicroKORG 2 so special.
From what I've read, it seems like they really went above and beyond with the effects section.
Absolutely. And it's not just the variety that's impressive. It's the depth.
I was blown away by how much control you have over each effect. It's not just a matter of like slapping on a generic reverb or delay.
You have like multiple parameters for each effect. Allowing you to like really fine-tune the sound. Make it your own.
It's like having a whole pedal board's worth of effects, but all like neatly contained within this like compact little unit.
They really sweated the details.
They did, yeah.
For example, did you notice they included a dedicated 2-band EQ?
I did.
Yeah.
And it's such a welcome addition, being able to shape the overall tone of your sound, boost the lows, tame the highs. That makes such a difference.
It's those little touches that really elevate the MicroKORG 2 from a good synth to a great one. And those little touches extend to the connectivity as well.
Speaking of which, the inputs and outputs on this thing, seriously impressive.
They really are.
For such a compact instrument.
You've got your standard output jacks, of course, for connecting to speakers. Or an audio interface.
But then they've gone and added a headphone jack. Which is essential. For those like late night practice sessions. Or for like making music on the go without disturbing the neighbors.
Precisely. And don't forget about the dedicated microphone input. That opens up like a world of possibilities. For vocal manipulation and experimentation.
And they even included a dedicated input for those who like prefer using a more traditional dynamic microphone. It's like they thought of everything.
And to top it all off, you've got MIDI in and out ports. So you can connect the MicroKORG 2 to other synths or drum machines and sync everything up. Plus there's that super convenient USB Type-C port for easy connection to your computer.
So it can seamlessly integrate into like a full-blown studio setup, or it can be your like self-contained sonic playground.
It can.
The versatility is incredible.
They really did their homework.
They did.
When designing this synth. It's clear they like understand the needs of modern music makers.
I'm continually impressed by how much thought and care went into every aspect of the MicroKORG 2. It's more than just a synth. It's like an entire ecosystem for like musical exploration and creation.
It truly is. But for all its technological prowess, it never loses sight of the most important thing.
What's that?
Joy of making music.
So true. It's intuitive, it's inspiring, and it makes you want to like just experiment, you know?
Yeah.
Push those creative boundaries.
Absolutely. It's remarkable, isn't it?
What's that?
We live in a world like saturated with digital music technology.
Right.
Yet there's still something like so captivating.
Yeah.
About the sound of analog synths.
It really is fascinating. It's like we're almost drawn to the imperfections.
Yeah.
You know, the subtle quirks that just give analog instruments their unique character.
Think about it. A perfectly synthesized sound.
Okay.
Mathematically precise.
Right.
It can sometimes feel sterile.
Okay.
You know? It's those subtle variations in pitch, those slight fluctuations in tone, they give analog sounds their warmth,
right,
and their humanity.
It's like the difference between like a digital photo and a film photograph.
Exactly.
There's a depth, you know, an organic quality to those analog sounds that like just resonate with us on a deeper level.
And the MicroKORG 2, for all its technological advancements, it doesn't shy away from that analog heritage.
Okay.
In fact, it embraces it.
You mentioned those limited edition colors earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing those like metallic finishes, those aluminum accents, they really drive home that blend of like classic and modern.
Those aluminum parts aren't just for show, though.
Okay.
They actually contribute to the durability and longevity of the instrument.
Okay.
It's like they're saying, this synth is built to last.
Right.
Just like those classic instruments that inspired it.
It's that attention to detail, that commitment to both like form and function.
Yeah.
That really sets the MicroKORG 2 apart.
Totally.
But let's talk about the actual experience of playing this thing.
Okay.
How does it like feel in your hands?
You know, for a synth with mini keys, it's surprisingly playable.
I'll admit, those mini keys had me a bit skeptical at first.
Yeah.
But you're saying they like managed to make them work?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They've made some like clever design choices.
Okay.
For instance, they adjusted the spacing between the black keys and the white keys.
Okay.
Which makes it much easier to play chords.
That makes sense. With mini keys, things can get a little cramped, especially when you're trying to like navigate complex chords.
Exactly. And they didn't stop there. They used something called a natural touch mini keybed.
Natural touch mini keybed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it means the keys are more responsive and expressive than your typical like mini keys.
So you can still get those subtle nuances of like touch and dynamics even though the keys are smaller?
That's the idea. They wanted to preserve that connection between the player and the instrument.
Right.
And if you ever need to like access a wider range of notes, there's a handy octave shift button.
Okay.
Right on the front panel.
No need for awkward hand contortions to reach those high notes?
Yep.
They really did think of everything to make this instrument like playable.
They did.
Approachable.
And for those times when you want to add like some rhythmic complexity without like taxing your keyboard skills, there's the built-in arpeggiator.
The arpeggiator. Tell me more about that. I'll be honest, it's one of those features that's always seemed a little mysterious to me.
It's really quite simple.
Okay.
Imagine you're playing like a C major chord.
Okay. Yeah.
Instead of like just holding down the chord.
Yeah.
The arpeggiator will it automatically plays the individual notes of that chord in a rhythmic pattern.
So you get this cool pulsing sequence of notes.
Exactly.
Adding like movement and groove to your sound.
Exactly. It's like having a built-in rhythm guitarist.
Right.
Who's always perfectly in sync with your chords. And the MicroKORG 2 like takes it a step further.
How so?
It has 10 different arpeggiator patterns to choose from.
So you can adjust the tempo, change the direction of the pattern. It's that versatile. I'm starting to see where this could lead.
Now imagine combining that arpeggiator with the loop recorder.
Right, okay.
You could lay down a drum beat in the loop recorder, then use the arpeggiator to create like a driving bass line on top of that.
Okay.
Maybe add another layer with a shimmering melody.
Whoa. So you can build up these intricate textured tracks all in real time just using the MicroKORG 2.
Absolutely.
It becomes this self-contained songwriting and production powerhouse.
Exactly.
My mind is officially blown.
And we're not done yet.
Okay.
Remember those amazing vocal effects?
Yeah.
You can use those with the loop recorder too.
Wait, seriously. So I could create a loop, lay down some chords.
Yeah.
Then sing over the top. Yeah. Adding hard tune effects. Yeah. Harmonies, whatever I can dream up.
Exactly.
All on the fly.
You got it.
Wow.
The creative possibilities are pretty much limitless. You could literally create an entire track.
Wow.
Just using your voice.
Okay.
And the MicroKORG 2.
I'm starting to understand why everyone is so excited about this synth.
Yeah.
It's not just an instrument.
No.
It's a gateway to a whole new world of musical creation.
It's all about breaking down those barriers between inspiration and creation.
Right.
The MicroKORG 2 gives you the tools.
Right.
But it's your creativity that truly brings it to life.
Well said.
Thank you.
But with all this talk about the new model, what about folks who already own and love the original MicroKORG?
Right.
Is there enough here to entice them to upgrade?
Yeah.
Or should they just stick with what they know?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And the answer, as with most things in life, is it depends.
Okay.
If someone is perfectly happy with their original MicroKORG, if it still sparks joy and fuels their creativity, then by all means they should keep making music with it.
Totally. There's always a but.
But for those who are feeling limited by the original's capabilities, who are yearning for new sonic possibilities, for deeper control, for the ability to incorporate vocals and loop bass production into their workflow. Well, the MicroKORG 2 represents a significant leap forward.
It's not about replacing the original. It's about building on that legacy.
Exactly.
Offering this new set of tools and possibilities for those who are ready to explore new sonic territory.
Exactly. It's the next chapter in a story.
Yeah.
That began over 20 years ago.
A story that thankfully shows no signs of ending anytime soon.
No.
Speaking of stories.
Yeah.
We haven't even touched on the sheer range of effects that this little synth is packing.
Oh, yes. We have to dive into those effects.
We do.
They're a huge part of what makes the MicroKORG 2 so special.
From what I've read, it seems like they really went above and beyond.
They did.
With the effects section.
Absolutely. And it's not just the variety.
Okay.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's the depth.
I was blown away by how much control you have over each effect.
Right.
It's not just a matter of slapping on a generic reverb or delay.
You get it. You have multiple parameters for each effect, allowing you to really fine tune the sound and make it your own.
It's like having a whole pedal board's worth of effects. Right.
But all neatly contained within this compact little unit.
They really sweated the details.
They did.
For example, did you notice they included a dedicated 2-band EQ?
I did.
Yeah.
And it's such a welcome addition, being able to shape the overall tone of your sound.
Yes.
Boost the lows, tame the highs. It makes such a difference.
It's those little touches
that
really elevate the MicroKORG 2 from a good synth to a great one. And those little touches extend to the connectivity as well.
Speaking of which, the inputs and outputs on this thing,
I know,
seriously impressive.
They really are.
For such a compact instrument.
You've got your standard output jacks, of course, for connecting to speakers, or an audio interface.
But then they've gone and added a headphone jack.
I know.
Which is essential For those like late night practice sessions.
Or for making music on the go without disturbing the neighbor.
Precisely. And don't forget about the dedicated microphone input.
Right.
That opens up a world of possibilities.
It does.
For vocal manipulation.
Right.
And experimentation.
Right. And they even included dedicated input for those who like prefer using a more traditional dynamic microphone. It's like they thought of everything.
And to top it all off, you've got MIDI in and out ports.
Okay.
So you can connect the MicroKORG 2 to like other synths or drum machines and sync everything up. Plus, there's that super convenient USB Type-C port for easy connection to your computer.
So it can seamlessly integrate into like a full-blown studio setup.
Right.
Or it can be your like self-contained sonic playground.
It can.
The versatility is incredible.
They really did their homework.
They did.
When designing this synth.
Yeah.
It's clear they like understand the needs of modern music makers.
I'm continually impressed by how much like thought and care went into every aspect of the MicroKORG 2. It's more than just a synth. It's like an entire ecosystem.
It is.
For like musical exploration.
Totally.
And creation.
It truly is.
Yeah.
But for all its technological prowess, it never loses sight.
Okay.
Of the most important thing.
What's that?
The joy of making music.
So true. It's intuitive.
It is.
It's inspiring, and it makes you want to like experiment, you know, push those like creative boundaries.
Absolutely.
You know, it's amazing to think we started by reminiscing about those like classic MicroKORG sounds from like the early 2000s that like defined an era.
Totally. Wow. And here we are all these years later.
Right.
Still captivated by that analog warmth and character now reinvented for a new generation.
It's more than just a comeback story though.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Korg took those like beloved elements and fuse them with like cutting edge technology you get, like the familiar layout and that like iconic sound. But then you add in like the modern display, the vocal processor, the loop recorder.
It's like they opened a time capsule and said, what if we could make music with this?
Yes.
But with all the tools we've always dreamed of.
It's like the perfect blend of like nostalgia and innovation.
It is.
You know, it reminds us why we like fell in love with these sounds in the first place. While giving us the tools to like push them even further.
Exactly.
And speaking of pushing further, can we talk about the effects for a moment?
Oh, yeah.
Because, wow, the MicroKORG 2 is not messing around in that department.
It really isn't. It's packed with like modulation effects, delays, reverbs, you name it. It probably has it. And it's not just about quantity. It's the level of control you have over each effect.
Exactly. I was blown away by that. And it's not just a matter of like slapping on a generic effect.
Oh, yeah.
You can really dive in and like sculpt the sound.
They really understood that it's those subtle, nuanced tweaks that bring a sound to life. It's like having a treasure chest of like boutique pedals, each with its own personality and quirks, all within this like compact instrument.
And let's not forget that 2-band EQ.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a like crucial tool.
It is.
For shaping your sound.
Yes.
Adding warmth, cleaning things up.
Right.
It's amazing how much difference it makes.
It's it's those finishing touches. Those subtle adjustments that can like make or break a track.
Totally.
Speaking of finishing touches, we should mention how well connected this synth is.
Yeah, it really is.
For a small instrument,
it is.
It's got a like surprising number of inputs and outputs.
You've got the like main outputs, of course, for like plugging into speakers or an interface.
Exactly.
But then you've also got that headphone jack for those like late night jam sessions.
Oh, yeah.
Or like practicing on the go.
Exactly.
Without disturbing the neighbor.
And let's not forget that dedicated microphone input. Which is like such a game changer for anyone who wants to experiment with. Like vocal effects and processing.
It's like they anticipated every need.
I know, right?
A musician might have.
It's got MIDI in and out. So you can sync it with other gear. And that USB Type-C port makes connecting to a computer a breeze.
It's so easy.
It really is.
To use.
It is. It's truly remarkable how much they packed into this compact instrument.
It's incredible.
It is.
It's clear they designed it.
They did.
With the modern music maker in mind.
I'm so impressed by the MicroKORG 2. It's not just a synth.
Right.
It's an entire universe of possibilities.
It is true.
All wrapped up in this sleek, portable package.
It is a beautiful instrument.
It's a portal to sonic exploration.
It is.
A blank canvas for musical ideas.
It is.
And that's what I love most about it.
What's that?
For all its technological advancements. The MicroKORG 2 never overshadows the pure joy of making music.
It's all about encouraging you to experiment, to play, to discover.
Exactly. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
It really is. And on that note, it seems we've reached the end of our deep dive into the MicroKORG 2.
The incredible MicroKORG 2.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. From its origins.
It has.
As a beloved compact synth to its evolution into this powerhouse of sound and creativity.
It is.
The MicroKORG 2
it really is.
Embodies the spirit of musical exploration and pushes the boundaries of what's possible.
Beautifully put.
Thank you.
And for anyone listening who's ever felt that, spark. That curiosity about synths and, electronic music.
Don't hesitate. Dive in. Get your hands dirty. And let the MicroKORG 2 be your guide.
Exactly.
You might just surprise yourself with what you create.
I love that.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Yes.
Keep those creative sparks flying.
Yes.